I'm Pam, I'm 60 years old, and I love to hike. I love to hike. I love to hike. I love to hike. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. I post a new video each week, so be sure and sign up for notifications so you don't miss any of them. Hi, my name's Pam, I'm 60 years old, and I love to hike. Today is hike number 8, and we are going to Wasson Peak in the Tucson Mountains. The parking lot is completely full, so we are parking along the side of the road. Let's take a look at that desert. Today we are doing Wasson Peak via the Sweetwater Trail, and I am so excited about this hike. Wasson Peak is the highest point in the Tucson Mountains, and from Wasson Peak the views are amazing even on a cloudy day like today.
Here's the Park Service boundary.
The Tucson Mountains stretch all along the west side of Tucson. To get to Wasson Peak via the Sweetwater Trail is 4.6 miles for a round trip of over 9 miles. You have an elevation gain of 1,800 feet, so it's a fairly serious hike and very beautiful. Look at this trail work. It's almost like you're in somebody's backyard.
Somebody spent a lot of effort on this.
Once again, I forgot to turn on my All Trails tracking app, which is the way I map these hikes so that I can put them on my videos. I forget to do it every single time I start. I'm getting really frustrated. Portions of the Sweetwater Trail, like this one, come from old mining roads. They're wide and very well maintained. The Tucson mountain lands have had federal protection from mining since 1930, but in the 1950s, the old Gould mine pressured the government into allowing mineral exploration again. There was an immediate public outcry, however, and in 1954, the last mine in the Tucson Mountains was closed forever.
This is one of those bigger prospects. You can see the green epidote in the rocks, indicating mineralization.
What were they mining for?
In general, it's copper, silver, and gold. They didn't get a lot of anything other than copper. Who knows what they got out of this one. So it's mostly malachite, which is the green. You can see there's still a little left of the azurite.
There's our goal right up there.
More to go. Nice view of the Catalinas coming up. Snow on the top. We're about to reach the saddle, which is the junction of Sweetwater Trail and Kings Canyon Trail. Looking to the west and southwest, that's the Kings Canyon Trail coming up from the Desert Museum area.
The Tucson Mountains have long set the standard for what the Old West is supposed to look like. Starting in the 1950s, many movies were filmed in the Tucson Mountains and in the adjacent Old Tucson studios. They featured the likes of John Wayne, Paul Newman, and Clint Eastwood. Despite its huge popularity as the Wild Wild West, Tucson Mountain Park didn't become a national monument until 1961. Finally, in 1994, Saguaro National Monument at long last became a national park.
On the home stretch to Wasson Peak. That's it up ahead.
This hike has been much easier than last weekend. I don't know why. From Wasson Peak, you have 360-degree views of the Tucson Mountains and down into Tucson. It can be a demanding hike in the summer because there's not much shade, but on a cloudy day like today, the colors are vibrant and can be just marvelous. We made it to the top of Wasson Peak, and you can see the Sweetwater Trail that we came up. As part of Over 50 Outside, I want to inspire women younger than me to get away from the TV and go find nature. Today I met yet another amazing woman, like my Wonder Woman from the Grand Canyon. Just before we reached the peak, a couple passed us. They were wearing full backpacks and were moving faster than we were. We started chatting with them, and turns out they were training for their Grand Canyon hike next week. I didn't get the woman's name, but when I asked her if I could take her picture and told her why, she said that she loved being told she inspires women younger than herself. She is 75 years old and has given me yet another amazing example of what I can do for many more years. Some interesting backstory about the hiking trails in the Tucson Mountains. Way back in the 1920s, people in Tucson were already getting worried about the growing ranches and the mines popping up all over the Tucson Mountains. By 1930, the government was pressured by the public into taking out a lease on large portions of the land. Instead of private development, it was turned into trails and open space. So I need to retie my boots. They were great for going uphill, but I find that going downhill, my feet are sliding forward just a little. Hopefully that will solve the problem. And then my awesome new gaiters. Yes, look at my gaiters. A number of trails in the Tucson Mountains had their initial work done by the Civilian Conservation Corps, although the Sweetwater Trail was developed later. The CCC was a work relief program, part of Franklin Roosevelt's New Deal. It gave millions of unemployed young men jobs working on public environmental projects during the Great Depression. The CCC was considered by many to be one of the most successful programs within the New Deal. Last week we did Finger Rock Trail, and I was really struggling. And I've done that trail so many times, gone up to the ridge just like during my lunch hour to that plateau that we ended up on. And I just could barely make it last weekend. I couldn't figure out what was going on. I've been working out so hard to get into shape, and it was really disheartening to struggle so much last weekend. And it affected my whole week, which was surprising to me. Anyway, I'm feeling so much better. I feel like this isn't all in vain, that my working out and my exercise is actually making a difference, because last week I just wasn't sure. Look how purple this one is, and how white yellow this one is. So different. We did it! Hike number 8, Sweetwater Trail to Wasson Peak.
Yeehaw!
An 1,800 feet elevation gain. It's a pretty good hike. But wait, before I leave, I have to admit, I just can't stand how long it's taking my gray hair to grow out. So I decided to lighten my hair and give it a head start. Here's a quick sneak peek. I'll see you next week.